Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars.
It's an absolute pleasure to welcome our distinguished guests to the show tonight with a musical journey that's diverse and captivating as her performances. We're honored to have Billboard charting international recording artist Dr. Chelsey Green grace our stage. Hailing from the vibrant city of Houston, Texas, Dr. Green's musical roots run deep, blossoming from her family of jazz and funk musician. Her journey commenced at the tender age, we should say, of 5, mastering her violin with a skill that surpassed her age. Since then, she's earned recognition and scholarships, earning degrees from prestigious institutions like the University of Texas at Austin and the Peabody Conservatory of Johns Hopkins University. Please join me tonight welcoming the extraordinary, as I like to call myself, Dr. Chelsey Green, a trailblazer, educator, and also a visionary whose artistry knows no bounds, I should say. Dr. Green.
Oh my goodness.
What an honor.
Roger, what a beautiful intro. I'm honored. Thank you.
I don't think I did justice. I think
Are you
I did
kidding?
justice
That
there.
was beautiful. Can I get a copy of that?
Oh my God. I was writing this whole night. I was like, oh my God, I hope I can introduce Dr. Green.
Oh my goodness, I'm humbled. Thank you so much.
Really
for
honored. It's a
having
pleasure
me.
for us to have you here at
Thank
Voice of
you.
America for the very first time, right? Because
Very first time. Yes, I've never been on this program. It's a beautiful studio. This is beautiful. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And you had to drive a long drive to
It
get
was a
here.
journey this morning.
Right?
It was a captivating journey this morning to get here, but God's grace.
Oh,
Amen.
great. Thank you,
Yes.
Dr. Green. And I know I'm calling you Dr. Green. I know you like to go by Chelsey, but I'll call you Dr. Green with the respect of everything that you already do.
Thank you.
Dr. Green, tell us a little bit about what inspired you, and that's what I wanted to know first, to fuse traditional classical technique with popular music genre in your performances, because I've been watching your videos and I'm like, whoa, this is a good mix.
Well,
what would
thank
inspire you to do
you.
that?
You know, when I was introduced to the violin very young, I come from a musical family, and I was very fortunate to grow up in a family where violin was a musical instrument and not a classical one. So while I was immersed in classical training through my youth and even in college, but my dad introduced me to jazz. I was playing at church a lot, and I always just enjoyed music that made you feel connected, made you feel inspired or encouraged, made you think a little bit, right? And made you groove. And that's always what I wanted to do with my original music. And so it became a blend of everything. And you know, I always want to pay homage to Black American music.
Wow, really?
It's shaped not only just our journey in this country, our voice in America, literally, but a culture, you know, as well. So combining all of those genres and style has been very meaningful to me.
That's profound. And you're mentioning how growing up in a family of jazz, you know, and funk, you know, how did and tell a little more about how did that early exposure to this genre influence actually your musical style?
Just having fun.
Really?
I was just so excited to be around music that felt good and made me feel happy, made that joy stay within. And I was like, this is what I want to do. I didn't even know that I wanted to do music until I got to college. So,
wow.
Yeah, I was on my way to hosting a radio program. Yes, I actually
Seriously?
went to, yes,
That's
I did.
a great story.
I did an internship in high school for a very long time at a radio station, a local radio station in Houston. And I maintained that internship every summer coming home from college. And I was on my way to, like I was producing the morning show and everything. I was like, this is gonna be it. And one of my mentors at the station said, I don't want you to give up on your music. And the journey shifted.
Bingo. Well, I'll tell you what, we're still hiring here at VOA.
Okay, that's a good note. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Now, can you Dr. Green, share some, or maybe one memorable experience from your performance career that actually has a significant impact on you? And I know you've been performing in so many places and all over the world, but which one you're like, this
My
one?
goodness,
Yeah.
that's a hard question because I'm just so grateful that God has aligned so many incredible opportunities. I will say that I think one of the most profound moments when I knew that this wasn't about me was when we were traveling overseas. We had been awarded a tour with the State Department, and we were touring through the Middle East in the first part of the tour, and we were going into some very traditional spaces. So I was performing as a young Black woman with a band of all male Black men, and I had several women come up to me after the performance and say, I've never seen a woman be in a leadership role in that way on stage in front of like a group of men that are, you know, respecting this collaboration moment of leadership in this way. And they were like, you know, I really feel empowered to steer my own leadership in a different way. And to me, that just was super powerful.
Yeah, that was an example. That's like you being a role model for some people who were watching you at that moment.
It's just, and it just really spoke to things that we take for granted, you know, and just not.
We don't realize,
We just don't even realize. Exactly.
Now, as a highly, you know, accomplished musician and educator, I was saying that earlier when I was introducing you, what advice, Dr. Green, would you give to aspiring violinists? Because I know so many of them listen to my shows and watch, and they love to learn how to play violin.
Yes.
And what advice would you give them looking to explore like diverse style of, you know, of music?
I would say technical foundation is always paramount to me. Making sure that your setup, your hands, everything feels really comfortable so you can move seamlessly through different genres and styles. I think that type of security in your form and your setup really will allow your body to embrace different styles, different rhythms, different timbres, different tonalities, different articulation, and that's really what gives you that special voice on your instrument.
Great advice.
Thank
I
you.
wish I knew how to even hold the violin.
We can get that. We can work that out, Roger. We can make that happen, okay?
Jeez, listen to you talk. I'm like, what did I do in my life? And you started at age of 5, and I read some stuff, and I was reading things and trying to educate myself about violin, and I saw that some people saying, when you start as early as 5, that's good. Some people were saying that they started at age of 7. For them, they thought it was even late.
You know, and that's
so how'd that work?
Everyone has their own opinion on that. I think that you can introduce things to kids, and they're sponges. It's like if it sticks, great. If it doesn't, let's move to what interests them. And I just was really fortunate to have a family of musicians that didn't like force me to practice. They didn't do anything. It was very much, do you want to be part of this collaborative experience? Do you want to do this? And it was a very much community-based feeling of encouragement instead of like, you know, you have to force you to do this and that. So I came to it where it felt comfortable and I wanted to approach the instrument in that way.
That's unbelievable. That's great. Now, I was telling you earlier that I didn't want to call you Chelsey. I want to call you Dr.
That's
Green.
what you said. Yes.
What, Dr. Green, motivated you to pursue your career and like a higher education in music? As I was saying, also including Doctor in Music Art degree. What really made you do it? You already did music since the age of 5.
That is a really interesting story. That's such an interesting question too, because we were in the middle of Eastern Europe, and a woman asked me the exact same question. She was like, why did you stay in school for so long? And I really have to credit a couple of things, because when I finished my master's, I was like, this is it. We're gonna go tour and we're gonna just do full-time music and we're gonna be immersed in it completely. And I had an opportunity extended to me to pursue the doctorate on scholarship, and that would have afforded me the ability to stay in the area and grow the group even more. So I was really excited about just an opportunity to stay and grow. But on the other side of the doctorate at this point, I can say I am very profoundly touched by having to have gone through the rigor of a classical doctorate program at the same time as managing a contemporary jazz and R&B ensemble and career. I think the dichotomy and the opportunity in that, the challenge in that, what it meant for me to grow academically, professionally, and musically, really, really changed how I approach really what it meant to be an artist. It really touched all points of my artistry.
Wow. Awesome. Now, from performing at prestigious venues, right? Different places like Carnegie Hall.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And appearing at the Grammy, right?
Yes.
Awards.
Yes.
What have been some highlight of your career so far?
Oh my goodness, so many.
I'm sure.
So
Yeah,
many.
those are just the two.
You know, we're here in DC,
Yeah.
so I'll pinpoint one in DC at the arena. I was called the night before Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life tour.
What?
And asked if I would join their local string section to support that show that evening. And I dropped everything. I said, absolutely, are you kidding me? This is Stevie Wonder. And we had no music, like we didn't have anything going into the rehearsal, so it was very much like, you know, sit down, sight read, be very professional, like have your best listening ears on, and to experience a rehearsal with Stevie Wonder, I think was such a transformative moment to me, because to hear how he listens, how he is so considerate of every single musician that's on the stage with him.
He was like that?
When I say we were rehearsing and he would stop and he'd be like, let me hear just the second stand of the second violin section. Like, he was very meticulous. Yeah, very nuanced listener, and just how rhythm was felt. Oh, it changed my life. So I would say that was certainly a highlight.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Oh, God, that's definitely. Now, you are a professor, an associate professor at Berkeley, right?
Yes,
at Berkeley College of Music.
Yeah.
How do you balance hearing everything that you do, your role of? You're an educator, you're a performer.
My goodness.
I'm just saying, Dr. Green, how do you balance that? How do
Goodness.
you do this?
Oh my
Or
goodness.
should I say, what do you do to yourself?
I don't know that I have balance. I just have to be very transparent there. I don't think there's balance. But I will say my journey as an educator, to me, is important, because to have a position as a Black woman string professor at an American college or university, to me, is just such a divine appointment. And I wasn't fortunate enough to go to institutions that had faculty in the string department that were reflective of me and my culture. And so to have that appointment, to me, and to be involved in still maintaining a professional performing career, I feel like there's a touch point that I want to give the youth about, this is the reality. This is what it is going to take for you to, you know, have a career in this industry. And let's talk about options. Let's talk about if this path doesn't necessarily work, or if you need to get, you know, a plan B through infinity.
Right.
You know, like, let's build you in a way that you can be a very diverse, capable artist in many different ways. And so it's very important to me to give back to the youth as much as possible, just after having been so profoundly impacted by mentors myself.
This is great, because so many young people listen to my shows and they'll love to hear this. Oh yeah, this is great. And I actually would love my next question.
Okay.
You had the opportunity to share the stage with, you just named it, Stevie Wonder.
Yes.
Lizzo. The Wu-Tang, right? The Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, that's unbelievable. Like, you know, so beside, you told us about Stevie Wonder. What about Lizzo and Wu-Tang? I mean,
Lizzo.
when I was growing up, the Wu-Tang was like, that was me. I was like,
right. I mean, quickly, I'll just try to go through that, through both of those experiences. I mean, Lizzo is a phenomenal musician. Like, she can play that flute meticulously. Like, she's super, super duper talented.
I didn't think that she was that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I thought somebody was
stunning.
playing for her. I didn't know she was that good.
No. She was a very, like, competitive, like, professional musician, even pre-pop star Lizzo.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I think, you know, learning from her and her recording process, seeing how she's so carefully considerate of every note and encouraging. She just was we were afforded an opportunity through String Candy Music to have an all-Black female orchestra support Lizzo on her opening number on the Grammys. And she was just so excited. She was like, look at us here doing this together, very open to us doing it, you know, as one body and one sound. And that was just a beautiful moment. And Wu-Tang, let me tell you, RZA kept me on my toes, okay? When I say improvisation on 10, on the middle of Tiny Desk, I'm like, okay, yes.
What?
It was just, that was such a game changer for me. And they're just, you know, they're legends.
Yeah, of course they're legends.
So everyone knows these classic tunes. And I'm like, here I am playing Creed. Like, what is going on? It was.
And you just had to do it, right?
I just had to do it on demand. Yeah, it was a blessing for
That's
sure.
amazing. That's just great. Now, let's quickly talk about the
Re-envisioned,
which is is described as genre bend. That's your EP, right? Could you tell us more about the creative process? That's what I want to know about the creative process behind the actual projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, Re-envision is our most recent EP. I released it in the pandemic. Probably should have not, but I was really excited about it because we've been sitting on some new music, and I was like, let's just get it out. And I think as an artist, that speaks to the creation process. It's like, you know, we have these ideas and you're living in a moment, you're living in a season, and you want to tell a story about that season. And a lot of my supporters ask, you know, Chelsey, some of your music doesn't have lyrics. And I always say, just because it's without lyrics doesn't mean it's without story.
Exactly.
Right? So,
true musician right there.
Well, you know, so we write stories through this music, and for me, it's always a blend of many different styles coming together for one song that's meaningful in a hopefully storytelling type of way.
Wow, this is great. Now, as someone who's dedicated to you mentioned it, youth, and I can feel like it's part of you. Just to hear you talking, Dr. Green, I feel, and I'm kind of like you too, because I'm a teacher myself, and I've been a teacher for 25 years.
Oh my goodness, congratulations.
So, thank you. So I'm feeling you. I'm kind of like you at the same time. Now, how music workshop, let's talk about music workshop and outreach programs. What impact do you hope to make, you know, from what you've done so far and what you continue doing? What impact do you hope to continue educating, you know, helping those youth?
That is, I get goosebumps thinking about that question, because my goal is that everyone knows they're an artist, musician or not. Everyone in this world is an artist. I'm always touched knowing that, you know, there is a single mother this morning navigating multiple children, her job, getting everybody to school, making sure everyone's fed, this and that, and doing it seamlessly, and that is improvisation. An architect that has to build and engineer, you know, how we're moving literally through the world, that's improvisation, just as much as it is to see a group of legendary jazz musicians on stage collaborating in real time. That is all improvisation. So sparking creativity, making sure that everyone knows how special and divinely unique they are, and how they can use their own creativity to be successful in whatever discipline they decide to pursue. That's our goal with our outreach workshops.
That is awesome. Dr. Chelsey Green, I would love to keep you here to hear you. You just have it. You can speak to us. I don't even know why I'm asking questions. I could just let you talk.
Are you kidding? Thank you so much for having me.
It's an honor and a privilege, really. Absolutely. And what's next for Dr. Green?
Wow. We're excited. We have some shows coming up this summer. We're going to be in New York on June 7th at Cafe Wa. We're going to be in Philadelphia in August at South Jazz Club, and we're doing a bit of touring in the fall as well. Oh, and we'll be in North Carolina on June 29th at the One Love Festival. So a lot of live shows coming up.
A lot of live shows coming. And of course, we have a website we can find you. You're all over social media.
Website, yes, is chelseygreene.com, CHELSEY, green like the color.com. And on Instagram at Dr. Chelsey Green.
Trust me, you have a big fan here, Roger Muntu from VOA.
So sweet. Thank you so much, Roger. It has been such an honor to be here and talking with you.
Thank you, Dr. Chelsey Green. That was Dr. Chelsey Green, who was our guest today. And thank you so much for all of you guys watching us from all over the world. And I want to thank our technical director and the technical team on the back that you don't see. The people who actually make the show. Thank you so much. So long.